Hi, I'm Hayley McQueen and welcome back to Cheat Sheet at the World Cup, your bite-sized breakdown of the biggest talking points from the 2026 tournament. Here's what you need to know on World Cup final day. England have beaten France in a 10-goal thriller to bring home a bronze medal from the USA. Bukayo Saka's hat-trick and goals from Declan Rice, Ezri Konsa and Jude Bellingham give England a remarkable 6-4 victory in the third-place playoff in Miami and secure the Three Lions' best World Cup finish since 1966. But England nearly blew their 4-goal half-time lead. 2 from France's Kylian Mbappe means he becomes the World Cup's all-time leading scorer. Details of a thrilling match on the way. Plus, we'll look ahead to Argentina against Spain in tonight's final and head to New York in just a moment. But we start with the match that nobody wanted to play, which became the match you couldn't take your eyes off. Where to start with this one? Well, a much-changed England were incredibly 4-0 up at half-time through Rice's opener, Konsa's header and Saka's double. But then France woke up. 2 from Mbappe and Bradley Barcola made it 4-3. Magalhaes missed a couple of great chances to equalise before Jed Spence won a late penalty for Saka to sink from the spot. 5-3. But there was even more drama to come when Ousmane Dembele struck again for France in the 96th minute, only for substitute Jude Bellingham to finish a remarkable match with a goal just 2 minutes later. 6-4 it finished in Miami. Here's Rob Dorset trying to make sense of it all.
That's one of the most bizarre games of football I've ever seen. It was one of the most bizarre atmospheres I've ever seen. It was interviewing the players after the game. They looked a bit stunned. They didn't know what to make of it all because they were still really upset from that semi-final defeat to Argentina and particularly the circumstances of it 3 days before. And yet they'd just beaten France, who up until a few days ago were ranked number 1 in the world, and scored 6 goals against them. It was crazy. I mean, Declan Rice said in one of his post-match interviews that he wished that England had saved that for the World Cup final, that performance, and that's what they were chatting about in the dressing room. But look, huge positives. Bukayo Saka, just remember what happened to him 5 years ago when he was racially abused for missing a penalty in the Euros at home. And here he is scoring a hat-trick in a World Cup finals, becoming only the 4th Englishman ever to do that. It was an extraordinary moment for him. I thought Jed Spence was absolutely outstanding. Possibly one of the best defensive performances we've seen in this tournament against Kylian Mbappe. He's still got a couple, of course, Kylian Mbappe, but Jed Spence, I think, has really come of age in this tournament, going forward and defensively. He's massively enhanced his reputation in a way that people didn't expect. And of course, Jude Bellingham scored again. He got his 7th World Cup goal at these finals, and how did he get it as well? It was an incredible goal. That's 7 for the tournament for him. No Englishman has ever scored so many in a World Cup finals. He's beaten Gary Lineker, he's beaten Alan Shearer, he's beaten Harry Kane, who's only ever got 6. That's what he got again in this tournament. And Jude Bellingham got it from midfield. He is a generational talent who has to be nurtured. And I think Thomas Tuchel will feel overall a little bit of vindication. Look, I think he knows deep down he got the tactics wrong against Argentina. He won't admit it. He's an elite coach. He'll bristle. He's got the arrogance you need in his position to be able to never doubt yourself. But Harry Kane told me afterwards that even though he's an elite coach, he will learn from the mistakes he's made at this World Cup and be better for it. So I think that hints and says everything from the captain. So England end their World Cup on a positive note. And there were a lot of positives throughout the tournament. That huge negative against Argentina, of course, will loom large in our memories forevermore. But the facts of the matter are England have finished 3rd in these World Cup finals, their best finish in a World Cup, and since they won it in 1966. So I suppose you have to go home happy. The England team will fly home frustrated, feeling they missed an opportunity, but probably at the end of it, satisfied with how it all ended, especially here in Miami.
James Savundra with me in the studio. I mean, yeah, where was that performance in the last part of the Argentina defeat? My goodness.
It was an incredible way for England to sign off their tournament, and it means they leave North America feeling slightly more positive about things. I think it's important to point out the different level of pressure they'd have faced against Argentina, trying to hold on for that 1-0 lead compared to what we saw last night, whereby the pressure was off. It didn't really matter what happened. It didn't feel like it was a match which had a huge amount of significance, though England will now say we've had our best result since 1966, which is no mean feat. The joint 5th most goals in a single match, the most goals ever scored in the fourth place playoff. And Bukayo Saka, the question marks will now be, where was he for the majority of the tournament? We know he's been carrying a slight injury, but on Wednesday night we didn't see him whatsoever. Saturday night we see him start against France, score a hat-trick, and you wonder what role could he have played in that game on Wednesday, and if he had a significant part to play, then would England be in a final tonight rather than preparing to travel home?
Yeah, really good point. And look, goals galore, and looking at Kylian Mbappe with regards to the Golden Boot and the race for that, or will it be Messi a little bit later for Argentina as well if he manages to do something special?
Well, Mbappe will feel he's done all he can. 10 goals in this tournament, that is a remarkable feat. And when you look at what he's done over the course of the last few World Cups, his record in knockout football is incredible. I guess last night's game wasn't really a knockout game because both sides were going out regardless of the result, but he's now France's leading scorer. We've known that for a long period of time, but he's the top scorer in World Cup history. 22 goals now, 1 ahead of Lionel Messi, 2 ahead of him when it comes to the Golden Boot as well. But you would think, with Mbappe being only 27, Messi's not going to play at the next World Cup.
True.
Mbappe has 1, if not 2 more World Cups left in him, and you would think almost certainly he'll go down forever as the all-time World Cup leading scorer. So 2 goals last night for him, and he's on course to become the first player to win the World Cup Golden Boot twice.
Wow. Okay, look, Didier Deschamps, he'd have loved nothing better than getting something out of this, particularly because it is his last game in charge. Of course, it does look like Zinedine Zidane will be coming in to take charge of the national team.
It feels that way. We're just waiting for an official announcement now. But 187 matches Didier Deschamps had in charge of the French national team. He captained them to success on home soil in 1998. They won the World Cup in 2018. Finalists last time around. This time it wasn't the perfect send-off for him, and losing to England, I think for the first time since 1982, France have lost to England. But his legacy is untouchable, really, when it comes to the French national team. Zinedine Zidane looks set to replace him. A 4-year deal is set to be signed. He's set to start work in September and will be in charge for the next World Cup, potentially even further than that. So they've got someone who they know who knows how to win World Cups who's going to come in. But Deschamps, it's been a remarkable legacy. I think he'll be slightly disappointed the way things ended because France were red-hot favourites going into this.
Right, more from James in a moment. It is, of course, World Cup final day. Argentina and Spain meet in New York this evening, and we have Kaveh Solokol looking ahead to this one for us.
So after 103 matches and 206 hydration breaks, there's only one game left. The World Cup final, or as Gianni Infantino would call it, the greatest event in the history of mankind. The perfect ending for FIFA, you would think, is Gianni Infantino and President Trump handing the trophy over to Lionel Messi. Of course, Argentina would be worthy winners. And if Messi does win the World Cup again, it would strengthen his claims to be the greatest player of all time. Many people in England, of course, and Cristiano Ronaldo will be supporting Spain. They have been the best team of this World Cup. One thing is certain, if Spain do take the lead, they won't throw it away in the way that England did on Wednesday in Atlanta. This will be no ordinary final though. There'll be a halftime show, there'll be hydration breaks, and there'll be rings for the winners. It will be the most expensive sports event of all time. The ticket prices are outrageous. For FIFA, it's business as usual.
Well, look, we heard a rumble of thunder in Kaveh's piece there. Torrential rain in New York yesterday meant Spain's final training session was cancelled. James back with us now. Look, what are we expecting tonight from this match then?
Well, it feels like Messi against Yamal. That's how it's been billed. For Messi, he's got the opportunity to become the Golden Boot winner, but more importantly, a back-to-back World Cup winner. Mbappe's 2 goals yesterday means that Messi's got it all to do, really, when it comes to the Golden Boot. He's not been as clinical in front of goal. He didn't really have any shots on target or opportunities against England, but crucially, the 2 assists he laid on. So if he does score twice tonight, then he'll become the Golden Boot winner because of virtue of more assists. But it does feel like Yamal against Messi. Do Argentina have anything left in the tank? Spain have been serene when it comes to their progress throughout this competition so far. Argentina have had to go to the well so many times over the course of the last couple of weeks. We know that Argentina the holders, Spain arguably being the most impressive side so far. So it's set to be a really good final. Spain seems to be the favourites. They are the better team. But Argentina, never say die attitude means that they can't be ruled out, surely.
Quite. Look, it's out in America. It's all very American. We've had the 4 quarters of matches, of course, broken up by these hydration breaks. There's set to be Super Bowl-style rings handed out to the winners in the final, and a big halftime show. What do we know about that and the performance? And I guess from a football point of view, how long is it going to go on for?
Well, that's the main question, isn't it? It is going to feel like the Super Bowl when that game reaches half-time this evening. There'll be plenty going on around it as well. We've got the rings, as you rightly mentioned. The actual show itself is scheduled for 11 minutes, but with the construction and deconstruction, you're expecting it to go much further than that. So it's almost certainly going to run beyond the 15 minutes, and that's football's laws that say half-time has to be 15 minutes, and the Players' Union have already suggested that there could be concerns when it comes to risk of injury. Players aren't used to playing half of football and then having half an hour off before going again. So that is going to be something that the medical staff will have to work on, making sure that the players are ready to return to peak level when this halftime show eventually finishes. In terms of what we can expect, Madonna, Shakira, Justin Bieber, they'll be on display. But a very Americanised World Cup will see that at absolute maximum level this evening.
Yeah, we really will. Right, go on then. Quick prediction for us. Go on from you.
I think Spain will win by virtue of just having more left in the tank. I don't think Argentina... if Argentina win this after what they've been through in the knockout stage of this tournament, then they'll go down arguably as one of the best sides of all time. If you win it back-to-back, then you have to be. But I'm hoping there'll be one last act from Messi, because the way he's performed in this tournament at the age of 39 has been simply outstanding.
Yeah, it has. Bring it on, we say. OK, thank you. And we're going to leave you with the view of a World Cup winner. Here's Gerard Piqué talking to Gary Cottrell.
Well, I think Spain will dominate the game because they have this kind of a style of play. Argentina will wait, will try to defend a little bit more. And then let's see, Messi is on fire. The guy is 39, but it seems that he's 25. Let's see. Both teams have a lot of good individuals. Let's see who wins.
You know what it's like to win a World Cup. How special will it be for the guys?
It's the most special thing as a football player. It happens only once every 4 years. Represents your country, so it has a lot of meaning to win it. And let's see.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Good luck to Spain, good luck to Argentina. It's due to be one of those great Sundays that only sport can deliver. Belgian Grand Prix, the Open, England's cricket is in action, and a World Cup final. Follow it all across Sky Sports, and we'll be back tomorrow with our final cheat sheet from the 2026 tournament. Talk to you then.